Hey, what's up guys? Chief Pat here, and today bringing you guys a brand new Clash Royale video. And today we're going to be talking about the balance changes that were just announced inside of Clash Royale that will be going live on November 30th. So today they made a post on ClashRoyale.com, which I will link in the description below, detailing some changes that are going to be coming out inside of the game. And it's actually going to be 5 changes, including one to the Mega Minion, which people have been asking for a long time. And I'm going to go ahead and break them down one by one for you guys and to check what's going to be hitting your inboxes. And yeah, let's go ahead and get into it. Now, the very first change that they announced inside of this is going to be to the Mega Minion. The Mega Minion has been inside so many decks. I feel like every single deck inside of the game does or can use the Mega Minion. And it's just so ridiculously strong, so much value. You guys have heard the spiel by now. They decided to nerf it, and let's go ahead and go over the nerf. They decreased the damage of the Mega Minion by 6%, so the actual amount of damage it does per hit, and then they reduced the hit speed to 1.4 seconds from 1.3 seconds, so it's going to take 0.1 seconds longer to actually do its swing. And effectively, it's been said that this nerf is about a 15% damage per second increase. So it was obvious when 85 of the top 100 players inside of Clash Royale on the leaderboard were using the Mega Minion. It's obvious inside of tournaments where it's used in almost every single deck that the Mega Minion needed a nerf. And instead of going strictly for damage or going strictly for hit speed or even going for the hit points, they decided to go for a damage and hit speed combination to tune back the damage of the Mega Minion. Now, he still will survive the fireball, and I guess they're keeping that as like part of his kit, that he can take a bunch of damage as being, you know, a quote-unquote Mega Minion. But by reducing his damage and his hit speed, it's going to be a little bit harder for him to clear out those units, whether he's attacking 3 elixir or 3 minions or a minion horde. It's going to be like slower as far as the hit speed goes. As far as the damage goes, I don't know if 6% is going to change how many values that's going to change, whether or not, let's say he can like one-shot an archer or something like that, or one-shot certain types of units. That is just going to have to be seen when it comes out live, but it should be a fairly significant nerf to the Mega Minion, and I still feel like he'll be fine. Like, the Mega Minion will still be used. It's still going to be a good card, but hopefully this will tone him back just a bit to where people will try out different options inside of the game instead of throwing the Mega Minion inside of every deck, which is currently pretty much what I do. Now, for card number 2, they actually touched on the Elixir Collector again. So if you guys saw the last set of balancing changes, or maybe it was 2 changes ago, they changed the Elixir Collector from 5 elixir to 6 elixir, and then they also made it so it pumped 8 elixir instead of 7 elixir. Well, they actually made some more changes to it today, and that's going to be the production speed is increased to 8.5 seconds from 9.8 seconds, and the lifetime is decreased to 70 seconds from 80 seconds. So this makes it so your Elixir Collector is going to make more elixir faster, and it's just going to be a quicker card. You're not going to have to wait the full 80 seconds to get all of your elixir. It's basically a 10-second buff to the Elixir Collector, to where you're not just so I guess elixir poor for the time that you play it. You get a quicker return on investment by making it 1.5 or 1.3 seconds quicker for every single pump that you get. And this is actually a pretty neat buff to the Elixir Collector that might make it viable again, which of course is really good for certain tank decks like P.E.K.K.A. 3 Musketeers. Stuff that's really heavy and requires a lot of elixir obviously wants to use the Elixir Collector, so I feel like this is a pretty nice buff to it, and we might see a return to it inside of the game. Now, for change number 3, this is going to be for the Poison Spell. Now, it doesn't seem like that long ago that the Poison Spell was the best spell card inside of the game alongside the Zap Spell, but they removed the like attack speed debuff and the movement speed debuff from it to where it became strictly about damage, which personally I hate. I feel like the Poison Spell, you know, the whole point of the Poison Spell is that it has something different to it. By making that attack speed reduction or that movement speed reduction to it, but instead what they did today is, because the fact that the Poison Spell isn't being used anymore, is that they increased the damage by 10%. Now, for me, whether or not the Poison Spell is going to be a card inside of the meta or something that people are playing over the Fireball, that's to be seen, but personally I feel like the Poison Spell needs to have a little bit more I guess creativity or something different about it compared to where it is right now. Not having that stuff inside of it, the movement speed decrease, the attack speed decrease to it, it just makes it like a damage over time version of the Fireball, which personally I think is pretty lame, and it doesn't really lend itself to much, I guess, creativity as far as using it goes. So 10% increase to it. We'll see if it's played inside of the game, but personally I think the Poison Spell, the nerf that they gave it previously was in the wrong direction, and maybe they should have messed with the damage values then instead of taking away what made it unique, but we'll see what happens with the Poison Spell, and 10% damage is all it's going to get. Now, change number 4, this one is sad for me because I use this card a lot. That's going to be the Tombstone, and the Tombstone spawn speed has been decreased to 2.9 seconds from 2.5 seconds. So it's going to take an additional 0.4 seconds for every skeleton to pop out of the Tombstone. So this is just a pretty straightforward nerf to the Tombstone. It's not going to make as many skeletons. It's not going to have as, many skeletons popping out to help you against Hog Riders or to back up a Golem when you're doing a slow Golem push and your Tombstone starts spawning skeletons behind it. Just a pretty straightforward nerf. It looks like Supercell wants to see more creativity when it comes to defenses inside of Clash Royale, because personally for me, I think the Tombstone is a fantastic defense, and it works so well against tanks. It works really well against Hog Riders, Giants, Royal GGs, literally everything the Tombstone is good against on defense. So they gave it a slight nerf, and it could even be a significant nerf. It's pretty decent size nerf by giving it 0.4 seconds between skeletons, which will definitely add up over the same amount of time for the Tombstones. So yeah, Tombstone's been nerfed. We'll see if that makes it so more defensive cards come out inside of the game as far as into the meta. And yeah, that will be it for the Tombstone. Now, the final change they announced inside of the balance changes. You got to hold on to your seatbelts for this one, guys. Buckle up. Hold on to the armrests. They announced that the Lava Pup hit points have been decreased by 1%. That's right. Those Lava Pups, their HP was too strong. They needed to decrease them by 1%. Guys, I know you're probably thinking, why the heck would they do this? It's probably because there's some sort of interaction to where the Lava Pups just have a little bit more hit points than they should. So let's say, for example, I don't know if this is true, but let's say, an archer takes 3 shots to kill a Lava Pup, and it only takes that 3rd shot by an additional, 0.5% or something like that. Let's say a Lava Pup has 100 hit points, and the first archer does 49 damage, the second archer does 49 damage, and there's 2 HP left. By decreasing the hit points by 1%, actually, that was terrible. I would have to do the math another way. Anyways, what I'm saying is that this Lava Pup hit point decrease could mess with the values of certain cards interacting with the Lava Pup, so don't just laugh at it. It could make it a little bit easier for you to kill those pups. It might take 1 less hit for certain cards to take those Lava Pups out. So that's going to be a nerf to the Lava Pups inside of the Lava Hound. And yeah, we'll see exactly how those interactions work out, but I'll test that out inside of the game. Maybe it's a little bit easier to kill them with certain cards, but of course 1% you guys are just going to sort of probably laugh at, and rightfully so. Well, yeah, that's going to do it for the balance changes, guys. Let me know what you think in the comment section below. I think all of these changes, were pretty just. Of course, I told you guys I don't like the direction of the poison spell. I think it's a pretty lame card now that it's taken away its uniqueness from those slowing abilities, and I wish they went in a different direction. But as far as the 4 other changes go, I definitely can see how they'd be valid, because they're all really strong cards, like the Mega Minion, Tombstone, and Lava Hound, or the Elixir Collector, to where it's just hasn't found a spot inside of the meta right now. Very few decks are actually running it to success, so I really do like that change as well, and I can't wait to see how it works out inside of the game. So that's going to do it for this video, guys. Make sure you smack that like button if you enjoyed this video. Again, I'd love to hear what you guys say in the comment section below. They just added a new feature on YouTube where I can put I can click the heart button next to your comments. It's only for the content creator, and I can show you guys that I liked your comment, which is really neat because I always go through the comment section, and rather than responding to everyone, I can just throw a quick like on your comment. Just to let you know that I liked it and I read it. So make sure you guys drop me some comments in the comment section below. Until next time, I will see you guys later. Peace out.